And good evening, my magic muchachos and muchachas, and everyone in between. Risen Dragon here with a new video, new take on a video. To be completely honest, we're getting towards the end of the new standard, with Innistrad Midnight Hunt coming in. And I think that I wanted to use this opportunity to kind of look at an upcoming deck that I think is going to be incredibly powerful. And also, too, because, quite honestly, I'm just, like, completely done trying to find a new deck to... just completely done trying to find a new deck to, kind of kick tail in Standard 22 with. But the new Standard is coming in on Thursday. Yep, Thursday. I had to check my mental calendar there. But one of the things that I want to look at, one of the decks that I want to take a look at is this one right here, Dimir Zombie Nation. And basically what this is basically, in my eyes, this is a zombie tribal build that, quite frankly, I think has quite a bit of power behind it. And I want to take this opportunity to kind of go through that and kind of look at the cards and figure out, okay, well, what can we do with these? Now, I will say one thing. When it comes to deck building, I have this really bad habit of trying to jam cards into places where they don't belong. And I have a feeling that this deck could be one of those. But I think that given the curve out, I think that this deck is actually kind of potent. And I'll be very, 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 very psyched to try to get it, try to play with it. It's going to be the first deck that I build. So anyways, let's get to it. All right, so first thing we have to look at is, let's just go right down the list, okay? Blood Chief's Thirst. Okay, just a really powerful, 1-drop removal. You kick it, it becomes a 4-drop removal. For what it's worth, it's a great card to have. Okay, basically you destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 2 or less. If that spell was kicked, destroy target creature or planeswalker instead. So, really good card there. Champion of the Parish. This is actually the card that, when the spoilers for Innistrad Midnight Hunt came out, I was like, ooh, I like this card. And that's kind of where I got the inspiration for this deck. And whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Parish. We are running pretty much everything is zombies in this deck, except for all the creatures are zombies except for one. And I really just think this is an amazing card to have in the deck. I really do. This card could go nuts. Really could. Shambling Ghast, again, it could provide some spot removal. It could also provide some ramp. Just a great card to have. Really, really, really good card. Blade Stitch Scab. Now this one for a blue and a blue and a black. Other zombies you control get +1/+0. Really good card. I think just powers our zombies up even more. Okay, we have Deadly Dispute. Again, can ramp into stuff, especially in combo with the Shambling Ghast. We can make it almost into like a treasure deck. But at the same time, we are looking at, also some possible spot removal as well. So it also plays into Ghoulish Procession. Whenever one or more non-token creatures die, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Now, Decayed is a creature with Decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. So there is a little bit of a drawback there, but honestly, for what you get for it, I think it's a really good card to have in the deck, especially with Champion of the Perished in there. Now, it only triggers once each turn, but you get 3 of those on the board, and you can, do some real damage. Jadar, Ghoulcaller of Nephalia. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. So, in theory, we could have that on the board before we get our Ghoulish Procession out, and it can just keep pumping out tokens, and so on and so forth. Alright. Also, Tainted Adversary. This one's a really good one, too. Whenever it enters the battlefield, I like the adversary cycle is a really good one, I think. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 and a black any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many 1/1 counters on Tainted Adversary, then create twice that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens of Decayed. You can just go absolutely nuts with that card. Because we are splashing blue, I think that, you know, including stuff like Test of Talents and Saw It Coming are worthy mentions in here. Again, you know, Test of Talents, you're basically countering an instant or sorcery. You search the controller's graveyard and library for the number of cards with the same name as that spell, and exile them. So it can shut down some, you know, removals. It can shut down, you know, your Shadow's Verdict, your Bloods on the Snow, your Crippling Fears, especially Alrund's Epiphany. Seriously, I'm sick of that card already. However, I saw that coming, literally, pun intended, when Kaldheim first came out. So basically, Saw It Coming has some foretell in there as well. All right. Also, another thing we're running is Narfi Betrayer King, kind of our finisher here. Basically, other snow and zombie creatures you control get +1/+1. You can tap 3. Just keep bringing back Narfi. You're going to have to exile it. So, Faceless Haven. Also, you know, I kind of think we have to have that card in there as well. You know, we're only running 3 copies of it, but that is the case. Faceless Haven, of course, you tap 3 and it becomes a 4/3 creature with vigilance in all creature types till end of turn. It is still a land. So, anyways, I think that this deck definitely has some potential. I know that Power Dragon posted his deck earlier on, and I'm kind of doing that a little bit in response. He's running a lot of the same cards that I'm running. The only thing we're not really running is Mass Removal, and we're not running Lolth. And I think that given the fact that we are splashing blue for several of our cards, I think getting some more value out of that with your Test of Talents and your Saw It Comings, I think are definitely going to make some differences. But we shall see how this deck goes. Basically, my whole thing is to kind of swarm the opponent and try to make sure that, you know, they don't get off the ground, especially if we have, you know, all these, you know, 1- and 2-drop creatures on the board. I think that certainly, you know, going wide and going wide fast is going to be a good strategy to have. So, as always, Planeswalkers, you know, like I said, Innistrad drops on Thursday. I'm actually probably going to wait till Friday because it always seems like Wizards, no offense, whenever a new set drops, there's always like some sort of glitches and whatnot. So I think I'm going to wait a day to kind of sort out the bugs and, you know, update it, download it, and go from there. Download the update, so I meant to say. It's been a long day. So anyways, Planeswalkers, I hope you enjoyed this little deck tutorial. I cannot wait to try this build. I'm really psyched for it. I will spend as many wild cards as I need to. I think I'm going to get somewhere around 80 packs of cards for the new Innistrad set. I'm very excited for it. It's really kind of the most that I've invested in the game for a little while. Obviously, I'll have to buy the Mastery Pass again, but, you know, that's all worth it. So, as always, Planeswalkers, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you really enjoy what you're seeing. Till next time, may all your draws be godlike, may all your spells hit the board. Risen Dragon is out. Have a good evening.